Invictus Porsche. Well, we don't have a Porsche here in front of us. We have a Lotus Elise S Touring. This is a 2006 plates. There is quite a lot that is different about this Lotus Elise S Sports Touring than any other Elise. And one of them being the fact this is a one owner since new. We actually know the previous owner. It's never in its life from 2006 has seen the slightest of drizzle of rain. And also it's got a full service history from Lotus, and there's been quite a few years where the car's not been driven and just garaged at the current owner's home, who's the only owner that's owned it from new. And additionally, that first owner had actually custom ordered it to the color, to the spec, to everything that he wanted in a sports car. Really quick things about the exterior of a Lotus. The styling evokes something along the lines of a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. The lines and the design on a Lotus Elise is just so beautiful and so eye-catching, and it is a nice, raw, simple, sports-orientated car. This is in the Lotus Racing Green. It's got these beautiful alloys, and at the front they're 16-inch and at the rear they are 17-inch. I love the swooping curves that are formed here towards the vents. The way the doors open and close is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the feeling from the tactile feeling that you get, the design of the side mirrors, the small little touches of the S right there. This has an ultra lightweight fiberglass body which only weighs 860 kilograms. To put that in perspective, normally as an everyday thing, I'm reviewing Porsches, and a lot of the times the Porsche Cayman as a daily car would be the largest weighing vehicle that we would have, and that normally weighs approximately 1,300 kilograms. So this weighing 860 kilograms says it all about what a nimble, fantastic sports car it is. And just take a moment to look at it. It's beautiful. At the inside of this Lotus, you find this, trademark, nice, small, simple steering wheel. It's got Alcantara wrapped around it here, which gives it this nice, classy touch. This has the tan leather interior, and I love it, especially on the seats. Also, these seats are the Pro Backs seats, which is a massive upgrade on the earlier seats used in the older Series 2S. Furthermore, the gear stick is got this beautiful touch of stainless steel or almost like a brushed aluminium finish. One might find the Lotus Elises on the inside being quite raw and simple. I think that's a fantastic thing because it allows you to focus and enjoy the enjoyment of owning and driving a car, as opposed to having gimmicks and distractions and not being completely able to focus on having the appreciation of what it's like to drive a car on beautiful, simple roads. The perk of having this Lotus Elise is the fact that this comes with a beautiful hardtop here right in this section where your passenger or the driver is sitting. It's quite easy for this to come off, and you get a lovely space here in the summer to enjoy it on a nice day like this. Lotus Elise S Sports Touring has the Toyota once it said FE 1.8 litre inline 4 dual overhead cam engine. And let's just lift this cover up. Got to be very careful to not rub the paint there. How do you hold it up? The engine in this is more reliable than the older Elise with the Rover K-Series engine, which is prone to head gasket failure. Elises with this engine are informally known as the Federal Elise due to this engine being used to meet emissions regulations in America, where Lotus was trying to push sales. This engine also was used in the Toyota Celica and Toyota MR2 Roadsters. From a performance orientation point of view, this 1.8 litre Toyota engine produces 134 brake horsepower. The total Newton meters of torque is 164. The top speed is 127 miles per hour. As you know, the curb weight is 860 kilograms, which I touched on to at the beginning. And the combined MPG on a sports car I mean, of this nature, considering how beautiful it looks, is 37 mpg. Oh, should you be taking out on a trip somewhere where you're covering a fair bit of motorway miles, I reckon one can easily be doing 45 mpg, and that is some awesome statistic. Owning a Lotus Elise and driving one was a dream of mine for the past 10 years. And things just didn't work out, you know, to have the opportunity of actually owning one and driving one. Now, owning Invictus motors is a dream come true, and on a daily basis I'm surrounded by exotic cars. But this beats it all. This is by far one of the best sports cars we've ever had in our stock. I mean, we've had some cracking cars. We've had Ferrari Californias, Audi R8s, the Aston Martin Vantage V8s. I mean, you name it, we probably had most of the regular sports cars one would, you know, love to own. But the tactile feeling and the rawness of a Lotus Elise, nothing beats it. This being a one owner since new, with it having done 26,100 miles, I mean, it's a car that's hardly been broken in. It's a car that's not been abused in any way, form or shape. It's been serviced when it needed servicing. And it's a car that's always stayed in a garage. It hasn't seen the outside when it's been wet or raining. And I don't think it's going to see the outside when it will be wet or raining during our ownership of it as Invictus Motors. We're truly delighted to have it in the Lotus Racing Green, because to me green is what British racing green or British sports heritage stands for. That colour evokes so many memories. That colour is the colour that I loved and admire in the Jaguar E-Types. And here I am sitting on the 2006 plate Lotus Elise S Sports Touring, and it having that colour, and this having the British racing history of the early days where Lotus won the F1 championship. It says it all. This is the car that ticks every single box for me. From a driving experience, it's phenomenal. I've just done a bend of approximately 40 degrees, and I was cruising along. I wouldn't say cruising along, I was doing roughly 60 miles per hour, and it felt so precise and so tight in terms of the road holding and in terms of how agile of a car it is. I've just dropped down to third gear, the revs going up, beautiful, absolutely phenomenal. It's an exhilarating, fun experience to be in. Initially getting in and out of this car, I imagined this to be a treacherously hard, difficult experience, but it's quite the opposite. I mean, I got in with quite ease, and the inside is ridiculously comfortable. Much more comfortable than most of the Porsche cars that I review for a living day in and day out. This is a nice, comfortable, healthy car to be in, and it's in no way, form or shape reflective of the approximately 860 kilograms of curb weight. It is a safe car. It's a well-built car. Nothing is out of place, out of proportion, out of where it shouldn't be. Everything is where exactly it needs to be. And the confidence that I get in a car that is a one owner since brand new, and having spoken to the first owner, says it all for me, because I develop a sentimental connection to my cars, and knowing the fact that this has just been driven by the first owner and then me and nobody else probably until us giving it to the second real owner, is a truly a pleasurable experience. I can't simply put that experience into words. Experience point of view, this car has what you really need: steering wheel, gear stick, handbrake, radio should you need radio, and obviously the ventilation, the cooling system or the heating system in the inside for the summer or for the winter. It is a simple, basic, raw, pure, and an excellently designed car. And I don't think there's any other sports car that occupies this niche category that Lotus Elise occupies is phenomenal. These cars are truly a pleasure to own, to drive, and to be part of the history that they actually have. From a historic standpoint, the Elise was first introduced in 1996 as a successor to the Elan, which in the 90s lost popularity due to becoming front-wheel drive, and was shadowed both critically and commercially by the Mazda MX-5, which ironically was inspired by the original Lotus Elan from the 1960s. This was a mid-engine car, rear-wheel drive sports car, which went back to Lotus's roots of light minimalist sports cars using small engines with a big focus on handling and driving experience, appropriate given that their motto is simplify, then add lightness. Series 2 Elise was introduced in 2001 due to the Series 1 no longer being able to pass European safety regulations and legislations. This car was heavily inspired by the M250 concept car, which was the first Lotus to be designed on a computer. It was built in tandem with General Motors, who as part of the agreement were to have their own sports car built by Lotus, but with their own engine, which was called the Vauxhall VX220 in the UK and Opel Speedster in the rest of the world. It's now in its third generation, is still being produced today. However, production will be ending at the end of 2021, along with the Exige, which is an even more hardcore Elise, and Evora. Lotus's bigger GT car. There will be a new line of cars produced in the near future. I wonder why all Lotus's models begin with the letter E. E standing for Exige, Evora, 11, Elite, Elan, Eclat, Europa, E-Spirit, Excel, Exos, Ethos. This is because Lotus founder Colin Chapman had given prior to Lotus designs a Roman numerical mark number, but by the time of the mark VII, IX and X, this had become quite a mouthful. He liked the way Lotus 11 sounded, and the new design was so named. Lotus racing designs are generally described by their numbers, i.e. 23 or 49, but road cars followed the pattern of the 11 with the names like Elite and Elan. Cars names beginning with E became a Lotus tradition. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and should you have any recommendations for us in terms of how we can improve or better ourselves, please let us know, and please don't shy away from not commenting or clicking that subscribe button. We would really appreciate any support that we could have to promote our channel and to carry on creating content that we create. There's a lot of effort and time that's put in to create these videos for you guys out there. I mean, we enjoy what we do, and I hope you enjoy what we do in terms of promoting this work as factually and as honestly as possible. Thank you for your time, and bye-bye.